All right. Did you guys see that news clip of the I think the lady in Louisiana, the chimpanzee, the chimp in Oregon, I think it was. Yeah, okay, the chimpanzee was shot after woman attacked and trapped in basement. Buck the chimp had been at the property since before Oregon made it illegal to owned the animals in 2010. A chimpanzee kept an animal rescue shelter in Oregon for 17 years. Was kept in a animal rescue shelter in Oregon for 17 years. Was killed after it turned on and attacked its longtime owners, according to reports. Um, it was a. It was a. This. I. I don't know. Okay, so I say we. I don't know what it is with people. I don't know what it is with humans, but we have this just very odd fascination with animal life. And most of it's good. Like most of it is a good thing that we protect animals and we care for animals and but we get sometimes just like weirdly close and protective of wild animals. Chimpanzees are not made to be your friend. Chimpanzees are made to kill. They're made to murder. They're made to mate. They're made to live in a world where humans don't commonly come around. And you see this with like tigers, and you see this with like lions, and you see this with like grizzly bears. And every time I say this, I always get somebody who pulls up a picture or says something to me about, oh, well, have you seen so and so? This guy trains grizzly bears, or he trains lions, or he trains tigers. And it's like when you take a hourglass or one of those minute glasses that you flip over and the sand comes out. It's like when you take one of those and you flip it over, but it's going to eventually run out. It might just take a long time for it to run out. That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with wild animals like this chimpanzee. And he was rescued, right? So he was probably in a situation where he was going to die, right? He was probably in a situation where the lady did save the chimp's life. But there's comes to a point where you gotta get out of this like made up world of yours that you're saving a chimpanzee. They're gonna murder. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna rip your face off. They're not gonna look at you as mom. Like they're never gonna do that. Especially if you get scared, it's gonna tear your body apart. Here's the where is it? I want to see the dispatch conversation. Where was it? PETA. Look, there's a picture of Tamara Brigodi had owned the buck for 17 years. There's a picture of him in a house eating looks like oatmeal with like yogurt, and he's drinking orange juice. PETA warned the state of Oregon authorities that Tamara Brigodi, the person who owned the chimp, PETA said PETA warned state authorities that she had created a ticking time bomb by engaging in direct contact with a dangerous ape, the group said. And now he is dead, and a woman had been mauled because of Brigadi's refusal to follow experts' advice and transfer Buck to an accredited sanctuary. I don't know, man. You just run across people all the time, and like the only animals that we've ever been able to actually domesticate are dogs, and that's literally it. And then I guess like cattle and livestock, but just dogs and livestock. You've never been able to domesticate anything else. Even like cats, they're not domesticated. Like I mean, they're domesticated up to a point. They're only domesticated because they can't kill you because they're not big enough to kill you. But if they were big enough to kill you, and and you forgot to feed them, I think you would definitely be struggling. Like I think there would definitely be a conflict on your hands. Like the cat, you might come home one day and the cat may be like, "Hey man, like I'm gonna kill you now because you didn't feed me yesterday. It's 4 p.m. now. I didn't get my breakfast. You didn't give me my can of crushed up dead animals. I'm gonna have to maul you now." And a tiger would just jump off the couch and maul you and just rip your body apart, and you won't be able to do anything. And if you do survive, you're going to be confused. You're going to be like, "Oh, the cat, I love the cat. The cat loved me. I raised a cat from a little cub." But it just doesn't work that way. In the same way that people think like the whole world is just nice and safe and people care about you and love about you and no one's going to hurt you and you're never going to be exploited and no one's going to take advantage of you. And then the older you get, you realize people will take advantage of you. People will exploit you. People will look for your weaknesses and exploit them very viciously. People don't care about your emotions. People aren't really out there to make you happy. It's a fundamental idea. It's a cool idea to believe that. It's a fairy tale, but it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's fake. It's a good way to make you feel like the world cares about you, but the world doesn't care about you. Like the world's not out there to make you feel good. People are just trying to get one up on each other, and that's just life, and that's the reality of it. And I'm not being pessimistic. That's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. We live in this world where people will say one thing, they will do one thing, but then they would do the opposite of what they said they were going to do. And that's people, man. That's people. Another thing that I saw, which was kind of fascinating. Growing up, I would go here a lot. My dad, he loved it because they did that $5 footlong. Subway. They used to do like this $5 footlong. You get a footlong sub for $5, and we would split it. I would get half, he would get half, and it would save us a lot of money. There's a lot of things growing up where I didn't understand, and I didn't really like, and I didn't really want to do it because I was a brat as a child. I didn't really care about saving money. It just didn't really mean anything to me. I had no desire to do it. But now I totally understand why my dad was trying to pinch every penny, because it is the value of money is extremely high, and where you can save money, you should. But Subway was just recently, I don't know how true this is. This could have been clickbait. Subway tuna. Subway has kind of been failing ever since that guy who was touching the little kids. What's his name? The founder of Subway, or the former spokesman, Jared Fogle. Yeah, but then he got busted for touching minors or sexting with minors. I don't know what he did, but he's behind bars, and who knows what he's doing. He's probably not doing too well, I would say, in prison. Lab tests reportedly find no identical tuna DNA in Subway sandwich. The New York Times brought Subway tuna sandwiches from 3 different locations in Los Angeles and then sent frozen samples to an unidentified commercial food testing lab. Something is fishy about Subway's tuna sandwich. Commercial lab tests again found no identifiable tuna DNA in the sandwich. The New York Times bought Subway tuna sandwiches from 3 different locations and sent them to a frozen commercial lab. 2 California women filed a class action lawsuit against the company in January, alleging that Subway's tuna sandwiches aren't actually made of fish. Why are you suing? Like, I would never. People are, I guess, that's, you're going to win, and, but I wouldn't waste my time. People have so much time on their hands. Like, I think the only way you would end up suing somebody for their tuna or lack thereof tuna, I think, is if you're extremely bored, or if you are very, if you're wealthy and you just don't, like, there's nothing else for you to do. You just do that. The women ordered tuna from the sandwich giant at locations near their home, but, quote, independent testing has repeatedly affirmed that the products are made from anything but tuna. The lab the Times used to test the tuna most recently declined to be identified. for fear of losing any opportunities to work directly with Subway. That's hilarious. The county's largest sandwich chain, the outlet reported. The newspaper said it paid about $500 to the lab, which specializes in fish testing, to conduct a polymerase chain of reaction, or PCR test, to see if the substance had any of the 5 tuna species. PCR tests rapidly replicate huge amounts of specific DNA sample. More than a month after the samples were submitted, the lab results read no amplifiable tuna DNA was present in the sample, and so we obtained no amplification products from the DNA. Therefore, we cannot identify the species. The results said, according to the New York Times. The spokesman for the lab added that there are 2 possible conclusions. One, it's so heavily processed that whatever we could pull out, we couldn't make an identification, or we got some. Fucking, there's blood on my laptop. Or we got some, and there's just nothing there that's tuna, he told the Times. Lab results indicate that tuna was either approved. Subway did not immediately return the Post's request for comment. The suit that sparked the controversy originally alleged that Subway's tuna is made from a mixture of various concoctions that do not constitute tuna, yet have been blended together by defendants to imitate the appearance of tuna. In an amended complaint from June, the plaintiffs toned down the allegations, saying that Subway claims to sell sustainably caught skipjack and yellowfin tuna, but was in fact selling anything less than healthy. Anyways, the gist of the story is Subway had fake bread, and Subway also had fake tuna. And, not shocked at all by that. Like, Subway, dude. They're like the largest, I think they're the largest fast food chain in the world. I think it's Subway. I want to say it's Subway. McDonald's is. Dude, I'm bleeding all over my laptop. I went running this morning, and I went one of my longer runs I've had in, I don't know, a year? Close to a year. No, I don't know. Maybe. So December, I was running. So I would say 4 months. This was probably my longest run I've had in about 4 months. And I ended up doing a 7.7 mile run. Like, not that fast. 9-minute miles. My legs felt so heavy. I'm about late December 20th to the 25th. I was probably in my peak condition, like my peak shape. I was running 8 to 13 miles a day, and I was sitting at like 190 to 193. Right now I'm sitting between 199 to 203. So I'm up around 200 pounds, and 5 pounds makes a world of a difference, dude. My legs feel heavy when I run. And like my breathing's fine, but this is the hard thing about running is getting into the groove of it, where you can just not have to think about anything. Your legs are just flying over, the sidewalk, over the curb, over the steps and whatever. And it's super easy to just run. You just feel like you're floating. And I don't know if when I was running, if the combination of COVID, I was running at like the peak of COVID. Like I was outside running, and there was just nobody on the road. Nobody was back at work. Schools weren't in yet. It was just me and the road. And I didn't have anything to worry about. Obviously I would look around so I don't get hit by cars. But the same intersections I was running then compared to now like I got to stop at every intersection. I got to look both ways. There's cars coming. Before, I didn't even follow the crosswalk things because there was nobody on the road. So I could get into like a flow state super easily. I could just feel like I was gliding. I never really had to stop. But now, since there's so many people back on the road and things are fully opened and we're just going balls to the wall, everything's just going crazy right now. I have to stop at the crosswalks. I have to stop at intersections. I can't just run. Like I was just running across like pretty busy roads because nobody was on the road. I can't do that anymore. There's people on the sidewalks now, so I got to get off the sidewalks to let them pass by. So I can't get into like that flow state. So I don't know if like my condition has gone down so much. Obviously it's gone down a little bit because I'm up like 5 pounds. So clearly I can't run nearly as well as I was running. But it is much harder to run a long distance now. That 7.7 miles was not easy. Like I did it wasn't hard. Like there wasn't I never stopped because I couldn't do it. I could probably do 10 miles. My legs just felt like they were 100 pounds each. And my dumbass, I was running, and I was trying to, it was like a fork in the road. And if you went right, you were staying on the sidewalk, around like this big post. You're running around this post. And then if you go left, you're in the white line. So you're on the shoulder, but the cars are running really close to you. So I chose to run left because this guy was walking and I didn't want to run past him. People are still weird with like COVID. You don't want to breathe into someone's mouth, or you don't want to make people feel nervous. So I ran to the left, and as I ran to the left, my foot must have like caught like a gap or something, and I ate it. Like I cut up my wrist right there. You can see the blood. I look like Jesus who just got nailed to the cross. I was bleeding everywhere. I felt like a fucking idiot. And then my dumbass took my hand and I spread my hand all over one of my favorite shirts I've had since I was like, I don't know, 6th grade, probably 6th, 7th, in middle school definitely, which is crazy because that shirt kind of fits me tight now, but like a tight where it's not, I look like I'm in shape tight, but not like a tight where it's like, dude, you might be gay tight. Like not saying like gay people wear tight clothes, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like not like a metrosexual tight, more like a tight, like, feel confident with your arms kind of tight. But you know what's really strange? And I don't know if this is just, I don't know if this is my fashion choice. I don't know if this is because I've been running. I don't know if this is because I've been losing weight. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm always losing weight. I feel like all my episodes, I'm always like, oh, I lost this much weight, but I always end up putting on weight. And it's like, you guys are probably like, yo, dude, we could see like you're not losing as much weight. It's like you're a little chubby. Like you're definitely a little chunky there. I don't know what it's from. I don't know. I think it's the short shorts. I'm not too sure, but I get an obscene amount of compliments when it comes to my legs. Like I would say probably 3 to 5 times a week, someone compliments me on my legs, and it's usually someone different. And then I have a few people who like constantly tell me about it, but it's strange because when I was stronger, when I was squatting like 315 for like sets of 8 to 10, 10 to 12, whatever, my legs were not nearly as complimented as they are now. And I think and that's what makes me think it's just the short shorts. I think the secret to having big legs is putting on short shorts and running. And it's weird because there's a different type of leg, there's different type of look to your legs when your legs are running conditioning wise or lifting conditioning wise, because I think there's like a new level of vascularity maybe in my legs, and I also tan them, but it's on a regular basis. People are like, hey man, not to be weird or anything, but like how, like your legs are so big. How'd you get your legs so big? And it's really fascinating because I don't think guys ever say that about arms, because they don't want to compliment you because then it makes them feel bad. But when it comes to legs, it's like, it seems like it's so much more simpler for people to just compliment you on. I think it's running. I also think it's a combination of these short shorts. Like they're a game changer. And I know I've said this multiple times, but I'll say it again because it's super valuable. Since I started running back in 2020 of April, May, around that time, it was probably June, I really started running in short shorts. I ordered four pairs of Reebok shorts. They're 5-inch seam. They don't have the little they have the little spandex thing on the inside, so you don't have to wear underwear. I ordered 4 pairs of those. I ordered one additional pair of I think Adidas. They're like blue and black, and they have a cut on the side, so a little bit shorter. Ever since I wore those, like it's been a game changer. I don't wear underwear anymore. Like I even like when I wear like jeans or something, or if I wear like shorts, but like they're fancier shorts, I do not wear underwear anymore. And for all the guys out there listening, that is a game changer. You just got to be careful when you're dumb peeing. Make sure you tuck everything in because you will catch yourself and it will hurt like a motherfucker, and you will want to cry really bad. So just make sure you pay attention to that. But other than that, dude, it is freedom. Oh, and also if you do get like really sweaty butt, like maybe you shouldn't do it because you might get like butt stains. But if you do it still, even though you could get butt stains, you got to have somebody you are willing to have somebody look at your butt to make sure that you're not sweating. Because last thing you want is to like walk away from somewhere. Now excuse the UKs. Last thing you want is to be walking away from somewhere and you just leave like a big like clover mark of your butt cheeks on the bleachers or on a table. But that's a game changer, dude. Stop wearing underwear. They're not needed anymore. I don't know why people wear underwear. Like what purpose do underwear? It's gonna be something so obvious, and I'm gonna sound so disgusting because I don't do it. Function. Underwear is worn for a variety. I'm bleeding again on my laptop. God damn it, dude. For a variety of reasons. They keep our outer garments from being soiled by perspiration, urine, semen, pre-seminal fluid, feces, vaginal discharge, and menstrual blood. Women's braccisories. I gotta be able to pronounce that because I sound like such a freaking loser. Pronunciation. Braccisories. That looks like lingerie. Braccisories? That's just lingerie. Oh, okay. So women's braccisories. How do you say that? I'm such. Women's brasiers. Support for the breast, and men's briefs serve the same function for the male genitalia. So it's just add support. But it's mainly used to keep your outer garments from being soiled by perspiration, urine, semen, pre-seminal fluid, feces, vaginal discharge, and menstrual blood. See, that makes sense. That's why women should keep wearing them so they don't bleed in their underwear or their outer garbs. And that's why guys should keep wearing them so they don't have pre-seminal or semen, and in my case, urine in their shorts or their pants. I feel like that just got really awkward. But that's why people is wearing, and I've always had this. I've had this since I was a child. I remember my mom, before I got out in public, she would like do underwear checks. So because I hated wearing underwear, even as a child. I just refused to do it. It wasn't my thing. Some kids have things that they like. Some kids, all kids are weird. We're all strange creatures. But I would not put on underwear, because I liked having the freedom. I mean, just to be honest, I liked having the freedom. Before I would go out in public, though, my mom would be like, underwear check. So what does that mean? I would have to, like, the top where my shorts are, I would kind of have to just pull them down just a little bit so you can see like my waist. And if you didn't see underwear, then I would have to put underwear on. Because obviously if you have underwear on, you could see them immediately. But I've never been a fan of them. It's never been my thing. I don't like it. And I've never understood like fancy ones because you're just going to cover them up. Like, what's the point? And I've definitely never been a boxer fan. Like, those guys that love boxers. I feel like the people who loved boxers and obsessed with boxers as a child are all arrested right now. Like, they just seem like such a reckless option. Like, such a reckless option. Like, they gave off this vibe of like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do crazy things. I'm gonna start drinking at 12 years old. I'm going to go off the reservation. Am I allowed to say that? Off the reservation? I think that's a reference to Native Americans. I don't think I can say that. I won't say off the reservation anymore. But it seemed like these kids just went crazy because like a characteristic of who they were, personality trait is if you gave them underwear versus boxers, they chose the boxers instead of the underwear. I was a whitey tighty person. That's not true exactly. I liked longer underwear. I didn't like the ones that like bundled up near like your waist. Like, I hated that feeling. But I also was fat, so I didn't want underwear that were super tight on me. So I'd always take the underwears and I'd pull them. I would like yank them away from my legs so they were nice and loose on me. Sorry about yawning, man. I've been up like doing so much homework lately. I have one class, but it's my internship class, and it is a exhausting class. It's a long class. It's just a lot of work. Like it's a 7-week summer course, so it's obviously going to be a lot of work. Like I got to write a 15-page paper, 7 and 14 pages. And you know me, I'm just going to go for 14. They say, like, teachers always say length doesn't make, as long as you do what you're supposed to do, it shouldn't matter. But I really do think length does matter. When a teacher reads a longer paper, I think they will probably grade it a little bit easier. I mean, that's just anecdotal research. That's not actually research. That's just me spitting facts, dude. But dude, that Dogecoin, man. Dude, that Dogecoin lost so. I was negative. My portfolio went in 1 month from May 6th being up 40% down to, I think it was negative 2% at one point. I was lost money on my investments. And it's because I own cryptos. Like cryptos make up only 25% of my portfolio. But when they do really bad, they make up 35% of my portfolio. So when they do really bad, and I've been negative on Bitcoin for 2.5 months now. Like I've been negative Bitcoin for a while. But since the 35% of my portfolio, when it does really well, it's like becomes 50% of my portfolio. Or when it does really bad, it strips down my portfolio to like nothing, like 15 to 20%. But the rest of the market's been doing really well. Like QQQ, I think, is up like 3% this week. S&P, I think, is up like a percentage. Everything seems to be doing well. It's just the stock market seems to be doing well. It doesn't seem to be reacting as much to inflation as I thought it would be. But overall, my portfolio is doing fine. It's just that crypto that's kind of kicking my ass. But I think crypto, if you're going to play the game of crypto, you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to know that there's going to be times where there's going to be months to even years where your investments are going to lose a lot of money. But I think the secret is just holding. And then if you hold and you give it time, and then when it gets back into the zeitgeist, it takes off again. If you've been holding, then you've been kicking ass. Even if like if I bought, I could have dragged down my average actually, because it got down to like 16 cents. This diet ginger ale is not good. It's sugar-free. It's not good. My hair, do I look like a greaser? I feel like I look like the guy from what's it called? The Outsiders. What's that actor's name? Let's see that movie. The Outsiders. 1993. We had to read that book for school like everyone else did. Matt Dillon. Dude, Rob Lowe was in that movie? Jesus Christ. Just all the superstars. Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe. Tom Cruise was in Outsiders? Nicolas Cage was in... Whoa, what the hell? Who else? Are people that I would not suspect. Joni Harnell? Who the hell is that? Hospital Parnell. Oh, I don't know. Dude, Matt Dillon looks like shit now. Matt Dillon was in... Yeah. Tom Cruise I cannot believe he was in Outsiders. He looks great for 50. That guy looks crazy. He was 17, 38. He would have been 12 at the time. No. That's Tom Cruise. What? Dude, the dude has a broken tooth. That's so funny. Rob Lowe looks great. How old? How old was Rob Lowe? How old was Rob Lowe in The Outsiders? 18 years old. Yeah, man, he looks great. I mean, I guess he's 18, so he still looks great. Rob Lowe looks great for his age. They both do. How old was Tom Cruise? He must have been the same age. And we just went to their little house and had dinner. Lowe 56 said he and Cruise were at a loss while trying to process the fact that they were getting some shut-eye under total stranger's roof, while he almost certain Coppola didn't have to deal with such unusual conditions. What? Who was the youngest actor? Who was the youngest actor? Thomas Howell played the role of Ponyboy Curtis. Thomas Howell. Who's that guy? There he is. There he is. I've seen that guy. I want to see Big. I haven't seen Big yet. Big movie. What was it? Oh, that was a Tom Hanks movie. I don't think I've seen that movie. Big. 1988 initial release date was in Russia. Oh, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. Adams takes fragile. I don't care about that. I care less. Did you see Russia shot warning shots near the UK warship in the Black Sea? London says it didn't happen. I don't know how much of that's true. It's kind of terrifying though. And then all this chaos with all like this UK, this variant that they're gonna kill us all, and COVID's never gonna leave, and we can't just let COVID go away. Why can't we just act like it's? I mean, it's going away, dude. Like it's slowly on the way out. It's slowly on the way out, and that's okay. We don't have to keep it. There's no reason to keep it. But Warren Buffett resigns from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Warren Buffett gives away another $4.1 billion, resigns as trustee of the Gates Foundation. Dude, there's some serious shit going down. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I love to listen to them because they're just fun. It's like an escapism from reality. Ever since Jeffrey Epstein ever since he died, committed suicide, and his girlfriend, the accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, ever since she's been arrested, like, it seems like a lot of things are happening. Like, after Melinda and Bill Gates broke up, Melinda was just speaking out on his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and now Warren Buffett is breaking away from the Melinda Foundation, Melinda Gates Foundation, and it just seems like something is going on, and we may never know because because money will cover up anything, but it seems sketchy. I'm slightly sketched out by it. I don't know. But I do know I'm going to end this podcast here. Thank you guys and girls so much for listening. I'll catch everybody in episode 204 of the Michael Lab Show. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll catch you guys again on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. And yeah, have a beautiful weekend. Be safe. See ya.